All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the SBP. We are back. We're going to do a little quick show here today to talk about the Saturday's games. I'm your boy Prime Dig. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year to you and everybody out there. Hope y'all had a good evening. Hopefully it wasn't too much.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year's. Even the folks that are out there still party.
Yeah,
Evidently, I've looked across my social media feed, and there's some people out here still doing some things,
I
and
don't
that's
know
great.
how.
That's great. I know, back in my day when I was out there really hanging out in them streets, me trying to do something outside the home the next day, it wasn't happening. It wasn't
No,
happening. It wasn't
no, I
happening. But
would. Maybe I'd make it back out. 5 or 6 in the day, but it's noon where I'm at, and I would not have been out this early.
yeah, my mom, I live pretty close to my parents. I mean, I remember you were talking before. You live pretty close, your
Hmm.
parents, right? I live. So my mom is less than 10 minutes down the street, but I remember where it would be New Year's, and she would, hey, baby, whenever you come over, I cook some chicken or whatever. If you
Hmm.
want to stay for a minute, or if you want to get something to take it home, and this and that, they got some black eyed peas and blah, 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 and all this stuff. If you want to come grab some, and I'm like, okay, and she'd be that close. Matter of fact, we're about 7 or 8. I'll say about 8 minutes from her now. In my old place, I was maybe 5 minutes from her.
Mm.
Right. So, and even then, getting out of putting clothes on and going down the street 5 minutes was a struggle
Yep. On
for
those
me
days
back
when
in the day on New Year's Day after partying on New Year's Eve.
Yep, there were definitely many a times where it was like I've been out way too late. This not happening.
I hear you, man. But I'm gonna tell you what is happening, and you and I were chatting about this before. We've got two games coming up on Saturday. Now, the fact that we have two games coming up on Saturday is it's not that big a surprise. I mean, we were used to seeing Saturday football games towards the end of the year.
Hmm.
What threw me about the whole situation is the two games that they're giving us on Saturday. And I say that because you weren't with us on the show this past Sunday. Source and I were talking. Shout out to Source, by the way, hanging out with the family today, no doubt. Family first. So shout out to his family as well.
Yeah, shout out.
But what threw me a little bit was the fact that we already don't have a lot of drama going into the end of the year. We were used to being on Sunday, that last Sunday, that week used to be week 17, now week 18, where we know there's a bunch of scenarios that could
Yeah.
happen. And you can go in the NFC, there might be two or three teams that still had a shot based on something else. You go to the AFC, there might be, 3 to 4 teams possibly, depending on how this shakes out. A team or two is eliminated by two, by the 1 o'clock games, whatever. We don't really have much of that. That not much. There's some things to be decided, Dig, but we don't have much of it. We're pretty cut and dry for the most part on the who's going to get in the NFC. Where it's coming from, where that participant is coming from. We know that. And in the AFC, we're pretty sure of that too, just based on the game. But there's not a lot of other things surrounding it other than playoff seeding.
Yeah, I mean, you figure there are only, in essence, there are two spots up for grabs, just
Mhm.
league wide, and then what? I guess some teams are obviously still just jockeying for position, but there's not even a lot of that. Like most of these teams, I think, are pretty set where they are.
Yeah.
So this is really like, yeah, you were right. This is probably the least drama filled week 18 that I've seen in a long time.
And you would think looking at this that the NFL would look at it because they're always moving and flexing. I'm like, look, these two games need to be played on that last Sunday. Like we need play it on Sunday. We don't care at
Especially,
this point what games you give us on Saturday. If you're going to play the Saturday games, give me some drama on Sunday. Like for instance, we go into even this first game tomorrow. Well, Saturday. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Saturday
yes.
game 4:15, 4:30, whatever time it kicks off. We look at the Panthers and Bucs game, right? This Panthers and Bucs game is crazy enough because what we know is if the Panthers win, they're in.
Right.
They're in. They win the NFC South. They're in it. is cut and dry. Now, if they lose, they could still get in if Atlanta beats New Orleans. Right? They could still get in if Atlanta beats New Orleans. On the flip side, the Bucs have to win, and the Bucs need New Orleans to beat Atlanta. All right, there's drama. Why not have this game on Sunday, either at the same time?
Yeah,
at least at the same time. If you're not going to flex the other game down, or whatever you want to do, at least at the same time, so we scoreboard watching or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now there is the possibility we're going to already know before we even get to Sunday. There's that possibility.
Yeah, I think that's the part that interests me the most with that game. Like, I don't know if they just didn't expect Atlanta to beat LA last week, which I mean they'd be right too. I don't think a lot of people did, but to just know that it was a possibility going into week 18, I'm really shocked that the NFL didn't think like, okay, like you said, give them a chance to do some scoreboard watching, because I mean, if Tampa wins, nothing is still resolved. And sure, I guess, yeah, everybody will just be watching that Atlanta game on Sunday, but it makes it a lot more interesting to have it on dual screen viewing, where you're like, all right, I see what's happening in this game. Let me check on what's going on in this game at the exact same time, versus, okay, cool, we watched that game. Now everybody's just waiting around to see.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So now if the Panthers win, I mean, if the Panthers win, it's cut and dry.
Yeah,
it's cut and dry. And if they lose, so there's still a little bit of drama, but give us that at the same time.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more drama when you like you said, having to watch it together versus just seeing one after the other.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but it's the NFL. I mean, the NFL is going to be the NFL. People are going to never stop watching the NFL, but you would think after what they just went through, the fumble that happened with the Christmas Day games. When I say fumble, it wasn't what they anticipated at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
players hurt. We got 3 backup quarterbacks that started. There was no Kansas City, there was no Mahomes. Like, you would think after that bit of a fumble. Now, I know they did some numbers here and there, but I'm just talking about the product that was given to us.
Yeah,
how everything turned out. You would think they would look at this. Well, we got a chance here to go ahead and put a little more sugar back in this thing and create this drama. Create this drama on the last day. I'm used to this. I've had remember weeks where even it would boil down to the Sunday night game.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair to them, I know they put the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game on Sunday night, but it's like, even if you wanted to say, hey, we want all of the drama on Sunday, this is the most drama-filled matchup because it's the one that you don't know for sure. It doesn't 100% in the division. Yeah. Where it's like, if you would have put Baltimore and Pittsburgh and Seattle and San Fran on Saturday night, both of those games, the winner knows they got the division. Yeah. So those ones you don't have the scoreboard watching. Those ones, the drama is solely the game. Yeah. So they can still kind of work where it's I just need to focus on this one game. We can put those on Saturday. But a game where it still relies on outside help, you kind of should have put those together.
Right. So fair enough, man. Fair enough. I think I was looking at the silver. I realized I had the wrong graphic at the bottom, but it is what it is.
I didn't know that. I was looking at the picture.
I had the Seahawks up there. I'm like, wait a minute, the Seahawks. That's the Panthers. But yeah, man. Very, very interesting, man, the way that they decided to do it. But nevertheless, we go into a matchup here with the Panthers and Bucs, actually. And with the Panthers and Bucs, we go into JB, what's good? Happy New Year to you too, my man. No doubt.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. The Panthers and Bucs, man, very interesting. We've been talking about the Panthers here for a minute. As far as, we're surprised they've gotten this far. And granted, they're sitting there right now at 8-8 with a chance to win the division. And to a lot of people's surprise, especially mine, the Bucs have been struggling, man. They have been struggling. They've really been on this struggle bus. And last week, I when I thought they would really pick it up, they go out there and lay another dud. So they've kind of put themselves in the position that they're in now, sitting here at 7-9, man. But you think about it though, Dish. They played back in week 16. And so not too long ago, the Panthers came out with a victory on that one, and they really held Baker in check in that game. I think he threw for maybe like 145, 150 in there. Mm-hmm. There was a fumble involved, and he also threw the interception that actually sealed the game. So if nothing else, the way these two teams have been playing and everything that's on the line, I'm still expecting a very entertaining matchup, man.
Yeah, it'll be a close matchup. It'll probably be a lot of mistake-filled football if we looking at just recent history with these two teams. But it should be a good matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup, man. I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, who do I really want to trust? Is it the Bucs that I've been putting all this faith in? And I just knew when they got healthy and Mike Evans is coming back and Fuchs before then they got Bucky Irvin back. I just knew this thing was just they about to steamroll. But now Mike Evans, even though I believe he did get in the end zone last week, we haven't seen that magic. We haven't seen the Godwin magic. And since Bucky Irvin's been back, they've been struggling to run the football, bro. Hard.
Yeah. You say the question is who you gonna trust. I think the question is who you least trust to not mess up. Like I don't think this is a trust to do well. This is a who do I think won't let me down the most.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's something, man. It's something. Every time I've picked against Carolina, well, remember early in the season, I kept saying watch Carolina.
Yeah.
And that came from the fact that before then, I was picking against Carolina and they would win. So after a while, I was like, you know what? Watch Carolina. You remember we were early through the season, midway. Mm-hmm. And then we saw what happened. They came out with a couple of huge victories, to get where they are. So I'm kind of scared to pick against them because of the fact that I'm the one that kind of hyped them a little bit. I was like, be careful. You're going to Green Bay, be careful, and we see what's happened. I'm also scared to think that Tampa Bay is just going to finally pick it up after they burned me so much.
It's so tough. Man. Yeah. It's
and all the shortcomings they're having, man. They're struggling, bro. Defensively, especially.
Yeah.
I think if you go back to we talked about the last game they played, in that matchup where Baker was struggling. Bryce Young did have 2 TDs in that matchup, so that's something to build on that one. And Baker has been on a 4-game interception streak too.
Ooh,
yeah, 4 games. Now I'm gonna say some of that, Diz. I was talking about earlier what their defense was doing. I don't know if you've seen him. He's been running for his life too. I don't know what happened to the offensive line.
Man, it ain't been pretty. Yeah. It's been Tampa has been a far cry from earlier in the season where Baker was a legitimate MVP candidate. I think they started off like 5-1 or something like that.
Yes, Source jinxed that one.
That was all part of his plan.
Yeah.
It seemed like after that Lions game, I think that was the first game right after, they didn't do well in that game. And, obviously they picked up a couple wins here and there, but from 5-1 to 7-9 tells you kind of where the season ended up with them. And like on Carolina's side, a lot of people would say, they're a year earlier than you expected. They arrived earlier than you thought they would. They've been on just literally the pendulum. I think I was talking about it last time I was on here where every other week is a win, a loss, a win, a loss. And just to throw it out early, because I know I see where the pendulum is swinging again. They lost last week.
Yeah.
I think the pendulum swings back to that win. And I think the drama on Sunday doesn't matter.
Think it doesn't matter at all.
I don't think it matters. I really do think it could very much be a repeat score of 23-20, but it's last week of the year. Teams are going to fight a little harder. I would go 30-27.
30-27?
Yeah, 30-27 Carolina.
Nice.
I don't know what happened with Tampa though. Like if we were talking this 2-3 weeks ago,
yeah,
when I know Tampa's, I think they lost like 4 or 5 straight by now, but
Yeah.
when it was early in that lose streak,
Mhm.
I would have like, okay, they can right the ship. I just don't know if all those losses in a row have just taken a beat.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's no secret. I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. I'm
Yeah,
rooting for Tampa Bay. I really am this to get this thing riding, and especially I want to give them that love because at least they are playing at home. All right. The one thing that scares me about picking them though, Dish too, I go back and look at what Carolina was able to do against Seattle. Like they actually had for most of the game, they had a decent defensive effort.
right.
I mean, the effort was definitely there, man. They got it. They sacked Donald 3 times, and I just mentioned that offensive line has had a problem protecting Baker here as of late, and with that Seattle, pass rush, and they definitely strong against the run, which doesn't bode well for a team that's been struggling to run the football with Buck and Irvin. Um, you know, it's just hard for me to pick Tampa Bay.
They got
So,
two. They got two linemen who are questionable as of now. I was looking as I was talking and as you were talking just to see if anything has changed with it.
uh-huh.
Uh, both of them are still they practice limited, but I mean, who knows what that means? They probably obviously at this point in the year ain't nobody 100%, but I mean they a little bit more hobbled than anybody else, which is gonna be rough for them. I know
Yeah.
they already got a lineman who was on IR. I don't know if he was a starter or not, but that even still that takes away a little bit of your lineman depth, even if he's not. So it's like you said, that O line, there might be there might be some reasons why Baker has been running around because that O line has been taking a beating.
And that might explain some of the run problems too.
Also true.
Yeah. So, man, 19 yards on the ground for. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So while I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be rooting for Tampa Bay. I'm
Fair.
going to take the Bucs. I mean, not the Bucs. I'm gonna take the Panthers. I'm gonna take the Panthers in
Ooh.
this game. And just hoping that I'm wrong. It's just too much going wrong on their end. A lot more going right now for Carolina. So me saying this, hopefully, Bucky Irvin gets loose.
I
Some kind of
mean,
way he gets loose and get this thing popping, man. But just for the score's sake, I'm going to take the Panthers in this game in a tight one. I'm going to go 24 to 23. 24
24
23.
23.
Yeah, for the Panthers.
That'll be I was just looking at how many one score losses Tampa has this year. And this win streak is just filled with them. Like,
Really?
or this losing streak. Yeah, I mean, all four of these last games that they lost are 3 points or no. The Saints one is 4 points, so 4 points or less. And then even like when they lost to the Patriots middle of the year, that was a one score loss. Like their Eagles loss was a one score loss. Like a lot of their losses are one score losses.
And I remember
And
earlier we were talking about Baker being right in there till the end,
yep,
early in this season. So, wow. JB is taking Carolina 32-24. I like that
nice.
score, by the way. I like to see some points if we can get them. And like Tampa been playing no defense. So, I mean, yeah, they ain't been playing no defense. So, they scored 30. I would not, if Carolina scores 30. And he says Rico 150 all purpose yards.
I could see it.
Yeah, so he's hyped about this game too. I was looking at something social media the other day, and they were talking about him not practicing. He was, oh no, I'm playing. I'm playing. This going down, and I'd be hyped too if I got a chance to help my team go to the playoffs. It was the first time since 2015,
Yeah.
and that's the year they made the Super Bowl. But yeah, very interesting, man. Very interesting. Liddy, what's good, my man? Said watching the Orange Bowl, he flew our cousin and his family out down with the team. That's all right, man.
Oh, that's nice. He on
No
Oregon
doubt.
or Texas Tech?
The people going to Texas Tech. Yeah, he had let us know on the show when he had signed a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's going.
That's
to
right. Yeah.
Yep. You were on. That's right. You were on. So that's awesome right there, lady. No,
That's real awesome. Hopefully they can put up a little bit more offense. This game is odd. Like you said earlier, I don't mind a defensive matchup, but I'd like a little bit more points, like
Yeah,
6-0 is
and I hope the
crazy.
second half will bring us that. As we're looking at it now, it looks like they're about 43 seconds or something like that, 40 something seconds away.
Yeah, I think they're
Right.
going for it on this fourth.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. And then what we got next up was actually the game I had up earlier. Didn't realize until last minute, but we got the Seahawks and the 49ers. And I know my man JB is hyped for this one because his 49ers have a chance at the number one overall seed. That's basically what this game is.
Yeah.
At this point. So I know a few weeks ago, a lot of people were thinking that the Rams are going to get it. The Rams, there's no way the Rams can get them a one seed. This is pretty much it right here. In the NFC, man. And granted, now being that they're putting these games on Saturday, of course, at least I'm glad this is the night game. You know, I'm glad this is the night game. You know, no matter how it's supposed to go down, man.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks, man, come in. These teams got a lot of history. Seattle leads the overall series 31-24. You know, the amount of times that these two teams have met each other over history, even when one was in the other conference. But the 49ers have won 7 of the last 8 meetings.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the Niners just been hot. You know, they've been hot on that thing, man, out there handling business, man. So it's a winner-take-all deal. Like I say, battling for the number one seed. And it's crazy to think you can go from being the number one overall seed to a wild card team. And that's what's going to essentially happen here.
Yeah. You go down to the 5th seed, right?
I think it's the 5th seed, yes.
Ooh.
So what a drop. What a drop here. So we're talking about home field and the whole 9 yards. Let's see. The loser, or we talk about becomes the wild card team. This is going to be something to watch because we've watched a very good Seattle team. We watched a very good Seattle team defensively. You know what I'm saying? Against a 49er team that's come in that's hot offensively, right?
Right.
Super hot offensively. 49ers defense, we've seen the cracks in the holes. Of course, there's some injuries there, whatever, but they can straight out outscore people. Right? They straight out just come out and lay it down, which they've been doing the last few weeks. So that offense has been super crazy. So the outcome of this game is going to kind of be determined on what gives. You know what I'm saying? What gives. You know, it's Christian McCaffrey and a super hot, man, and I'm talking about a dude that has been hot, you know, Brock Purdy, going to be able to keep that thing up against his defense, or is that defense going to prevail? I mean, you go back and look at Brock Purdy, man. Over the last 3 games, 11 passing touchdowns and 2 on the ground.
Yeah, he's been on a tear. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how do you slow that down? Like, you know, we were talking. JB was talking about that last game at 32-24. This is one of those games that I would not be surprised at some point if we get into some type of track meet at some point. Because I have enough faith in that 49ers offense that as good as the Seattle defense has been, that at some point they're going to find a way to score. You know, they're going to find a way to score. I don't have a lot of confidence on their doing that they're going to be able to slow down Seattle. Yeah, if Seattle gets slowed down, I think it's because Seattle's slowing himself down.
Okay.
I've seen that week, you know, some weeks here too. But it's going to be a battle of, you know, of what gives, man. And I think it's going to be fun.
It's interesting because I was just looking at this thing that Adam Schefter was talking about, and he claims that San Fran is going to kind of be cautious about who they play. Like, obviously, Trent Williams got hurt last week. Kittle didn't play. He wanted to play last week.
They say he's playing now, supposedly.
Well, he said he's playing. The team hasn't said anything. Now, we've seen players say they want to play. A lot of times that the team go, well, actually, we're going to sit you. Max Crosby being the most recent example. So I'm really interested to see. I got to imagine you want that number one seed. So you have to play anybody who can play. Like, you're not going to play it cautious enough going into the playoffs and miss out on that bye. Right. Unless you're just that cocky that y'all don't need them and y'all can still beat the Seahawks.
Right.
But I mean, you haven't seen this team since week 1. And that team that you beat 17-13 week 1 is a lot different than the team that you're about to play on Saturday. So this is, I really wish this was the Sunday night matchup, because this matchup is going to be insane. Like this is on paper, this is for sure the game of the week, and I'm expecting it to play like being the game of the week. So this one is really tough to pick, because I don't know who I think has the edge. Like, you give it to San Fran because they at home, but if you look at Seattle's road record, it's 7-1. So it's like they not afraid to go on the road and still beat teams. So
I was telling Source last week, I said two things about Seattle. If you've been watching this year, they can play on the road, and they've done very well when they've had to travel cross country.
Right. And now you ain't even got to do that. You travel probably 7 hours. Yeah. I don't know how far it is from Seattle to San Fran, but I know it ain't more than 8. So this is going to be a tough matchup. I am going with a shootout, though. I'm going to just throw out a score, and we're going to hope for the best. 38-35. Seattle. Forget it. 38-35 Seattle. Seattle gets the number 1 seed in the bye.
38-35. So you're looking for some points. It's like that Niners Bears game the other night.
I am. That's exactly what I'm expecting. That Niners defense, I think injuries have kind of started to catch up with. I mean, obviously they still do enough because that offense is crazy to win. But the past couple of weeks they've been giving up some points, and one of those weeks was to Tennessee. So I feel like you can make some waves on that defense, and Seattle is a very good offense. I just think they get one more stop. I trust their defense one more stop than I trust the San Fran defense, even though they can be suspect at times too.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that. I think we could get some points in that. I'm hoping we get the points in that. I trust Seattle's defense more than I trust San Francisco. Whereas even if the points are given up, I agree with you on that. I think that, they're more capable of making certain stops when needed. Mm-hmm. Now, that 49ers offense is real, though. Like, they're getting it done no matter who it is. Like, okay, somebody else is going to. They bring in the backup tight end last week. This dude catching passes left and right. You know what I'm saying? A receiver goes down. Ricky Pearsall's out like he's always out, but he's out. Then it's this guy. Then it's Jawan Jennings, and it's whatever. The way they have manufactured offense through everything that they've been through has been absolutely crazy. And they can run the score up on you, too, good defense or not. They've been crazy good in conference games this year, too. I think they only last – I got to go back and look. I think they like something like 9-2, I believe, something like that in conference. I mean, they're good. I don't think they lost more than 2 conference games. I'm pretty sure of that. But they
for Seattle?
No, for the 49ers.
Oh, I can double check. You said conference games?
Yeah, what's their conference record? Is it like
9-2?
9-2. They've been crazy good, man. Crazy good. And they get this game at the crib.
Right.
Which is, absolutely insane. But I'm going to take Seattle, though. I'm going to take Seattle. Like I say, I trust them to at least get that one stop somewhere. And the way that defensive line getting after quarterbacks lately and making them turn the ball over. Every time I look at the screen, somebody's coming up. DeMarcus Lawrence, somebody's coming up with a fumble, or something like that. They're really getting out and getting after it. So, and a little join between a couple of the DBs in San Francisco and Smith and Jigba is going to be good too, because they on social media, whatever, talking smack about each other about who gonna stop who. So this guy wants to play one-on-one. I don't know if you want to play in Jigba one-on-one, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Seriously.
Yeah. I don't think anybody want that smoke, But it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Seattle Seahawks 33-28.
Okay.
In this particular ball game there. I see JB got his 49ers 27-24.
I ain't gonna hold you. I really do think that we probably see this matchup in 2 weeks again. Because I think no matter what, because they'll be the 5 seed, whoever wins, they're going to play the 4 seed. And I'm pretty sure that they'll play the 1 seed in the divisional round. I'm almost positive. I ain't even going to say almost positive. they beating Carolina or Tampa, whoever gets it. Either of these teams is beating Carolina. We see this matchup in 2 weeks.
Well, like I say, I'll say this. You know, and we're gonna not jump the gun. You know, we'll get to
for sure.
But it'll be very interesting because even in a loss, I was kind of impressed by Carolina's effort that last game against Seattle. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. So
I was impressed first. Second half, you could tell that's when the talent started to set in, where it's like, y'all, like I said, Carolina's very much a year ahead, I think, than a lot of people thought that they would be, me included, where it's like, oh, this will probably be different if all of y'all had another year under y'all belt together, you know, had a little bit more confidence. But I think with the way the second half, you could tell, like, okay, Seattle is here. Carolina, maybe not quite yet.
Yeah, not quite, but they are built. And I've been pretty impressed with Bryce Young's development after.
I'm
a
really
year ago
glad
they were talking
too.
about possibly trading him.
Well, they already had called him a bust a year ago. So like, I am really glad to see the success that he had this year, because I do think that a lot of teams and a lot of people in the media, they are too quick to give up on the quarterback and they don't develop them. So like, to see Carolina stick behind him and give him the chance to develop, and you starting to see the fruits of that labor, it's really good.
Got him a good young receiver, rookie receiver there, who's I think will be outstanding before this thing is all over with.
You think he gets rookie of the year?
What's that?
You think he gets offensive rookie of the year?
I think he has a shot. I really think he has a shot. So I like Ted.
He's been balling.
Yes, he has. All right, so these matchups are going to be interesting. Even though they're being played on Saturday, we're going to take it. We're going to watch. So I am really looking forward to seeing what goes down in these matchups. Any other thoughts on these Saturday games before we wrap them up?
No, I mean, the only other game I'm going to want to really talk about is we'll talk about on Sunday. So
yeah. So like I said, we got there's a couple of games that mean nothing that I'm interested in, you know, talking about a little bit once we get to Sunday.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's still
games. And of course, there's the game. Of course, we already know. You're going to have the Steelers and the Ravens are going to go at it to see who gets in the playoff. We'll have a lot of talk about that on Sunday, because I want to talk about something I brought up. You and I were talking about a few weeks ago, and I want to see if anything's changed as far as these head coaching situations, because in that Ravens, when we get to Sunday, that Ravens Steelers thing is still kind of funny to me about which one or if any of these coaches are going to be there. And I think at the time, my thoughts at the time was, believe it or not, possibly the safest coach in that division at that time was Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like no matter what, it's always Mike Tomlin. When I learned that the Steelers have only had 3 coaches since like 1960 something.
Well, yeah, and I agree. And I agree that, and I would agree with anybody that said that. It's just that, you know, so much was transpiring and things that were going on at the time that we were talking about it too.
Yeah, no, that's
now. You know, the past few weeks has given us insights. Well, maybe now let's not jump the gun, but now we might be right back to where we were a few weeks ago, possibly from some of the stuff we're hearing. So when we get to that Steelers Ravens on Sunday, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. We'll talk about that, but in that whole division. So that's going to be fun.
Because I definitely I think Monday is going to probably be a rough day for a lot of coaches.
It's going to be, like Monday's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And I'll just throw a name out real quick. We've been seeing the stuff not only about the AFC North, but over in the West, there's the Pete Carroll thing. So already, and there's talks, and we'll get into on Sunday, but there's talks already that not only as the Cleveland Browns, supposedly have done some exploratory talks and some groundwork just to see what it would look like if they wanted to make a move. There's talk also of them looking at Pete Carroll. So that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, you still got the Giants still have to pick their coach. Like they have an interim. I almost forgot. I was about to say like the Giants definitely about to fire their coach, but that happened already.
Yeah,
so they still need to make their decision.
Yeah. So, but we'll find out. Like I say, come Sunday, we'll probably pick maybe 3 or 4 games, maybe.
Okay.
Won't be a lot. We'll pick 3 or 4 games, whatever, and then that give us a little time to stab in on a couple of these topics, like the coaches who might be gone, who might still be there. We're definitely gonna talk about that situation in the AFC North, and we'll see how the day goes. It's gonna be hard to really go at it because if you're a betting man, you gotta be careful because so many people are not gonna be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Some gonna be playing, some are not gonna be playing. So we know some of the people still playing for position and certain things is out there. I saw that Jordan Love is healthy, supposedly.
Yeah.
What does that look
they're
like?
still sitting him till playoffs.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff, man. We'll see. Come Sunday. But anyway, that was our Saturday coverage. Hope everybody enjoys the games. We'll see if we were right, we're wrong, how far we are off, and we'll just go from there. And I'm still not going to excuse the NFL for putting these 2 games on Saturday.
Not at all.
They better be enjoyable. Let me say that.
I agree. I think it was Dan Lanning, Oregon coach, who was saying that college football has given a little bit too much to the NFL and that they need to take their Saturdays back. I get it having the bowl games on New Year's Day, but I do think that there's something special about having football on Saturdays be college all the way through January. So
and
I agree.
I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. All right. Appreciate y'all. We shall catch y'all on Sunday, 11 a.m. ish, to wrap up the regular season. All right. See you then.
Peace.